Cold War introduction. The Cold War was a political, economic, military, and ideological rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union that began after World War II in 1947 and lasted until 1991. This period was shaped not by direct military conflict, but by proxy wars, an arms race. Additionally, by propaganda battles and a global struggle for influence. Causes. The main cause of the Cold War was the deep ideological divide between the capitalist democratic bloc led by the USA and the communist authoritarian system represented by the Soviet Union. After World War II, both superpowers emerged stronger and sought to expand their spheres of influence around the globe. Disputes over the future of Europe, the division of Germany, and the emergence of nuclear weapons further escalated tensions. Key events. Several major events define the Cold War period. The Berlin Crisis, 1948 to 1949. The Soviet Union blockaded West Berlin, prompting the USA and its allies to respond with an airlift that supplied the city for nearly a year. The Korean War, 1950 to 1953. A conflict between communist North Korea and US-backed South Korea, marking one of the first major proxy wars of the Cold War. The Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962. The Soviet placement of nuclear missiles in Cuba brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. The Vietnam War, 1955 to 1975. The USA intervened to support South Vietnam against the Communist North, in one of the most controversial and deadly Cold War conflicts. The space race. Initiated by the Soviet Union's launch of the Sputnik satellite. It intensified with the USA's 1969 moon landing, highlighting the technological competition between the two powers. The end of the Cold War. In the 1980s, Mikhail Gorbachev came to power in the Soviet Union and initiated reform policies known as glasnost, meaning openness, and perestroika, meaning restructuring. These reforms led to political and social changes both within the Soviet Union and in Eastern Europe. In 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall symbolized the collapse of communist regimes across the Eastern Bloc. Finally, in 1991, the Soviet Union dissolved, bringing the Cold War to an end. Conclusion. The Cold War was a global struggle that divided the world into two opposing blocs for over 4 decades. Though no direct war occurred between the USA and the Soviet Union, millions were affected by proxy wars and ideological confrontations. The legacy of the Cold War still influences global politics today, especially in areas such as international alliances, nuclear policies, and East-West relations.